Did you know 95% of the black population living in Quibdó, Colombia, derived from the African continent? Salome Ramos, pictured, is 64 years old and lives in Quibdó, a town with a 95% black population derived from African slaves, imported to the Pacific coast of Colombia by the conquistadors. She is presently out of work, but her previous jobs include everything from maid to miner. The economics of Quibdó is almost entirely supported by the wages of mining or fishing, and the town's atmosphere has a raw vibrancy. Quibdó is the capital of the Department of Chaco in Colombia. In 2008, the city had a population of 109,000 people. The population of the Chaco region is overwhelmingly Afro-Colombian due to the history of slavery in the area. The city is somewhat isolated and is located close to the Atrato River. A 25-minute plane ride separates the city from Medellin, one of the largest cities in Colombia. Although Quibdó is a large city, by Colombian standards, only the city's center has concrete buildings and paved streets. Most people in the city live in shacks made from wood or iron and live on dirt roads due to an inadequate water and sewage system. The area experiences both drought, when the stored water supply is depleted, and floods during heavy rains. The history of the Department of Chaco in Quibdó dates back to the 16th century. Spanish explorers had known gold existed in the Chaco region as early as 1511. Indigenous people were first used as slaves to mine for the Spanish. Still, when disease and challenging working conditions wiped out most of them, slaves from Africa were imported to become the mine's major labor source. Eventually, so many slaves were brought to the area that by the early 1600s, most of the people in the region were of African origin. Even today, persons of African ancestry make up 84% of the population in the region. Slavery in Colombia was finally abolished in 1851. Emancipation led to a downturn in the economy as mine owners abandoned the region. Ironically, Afro-Colombians in the Chaco region found they had relative autonomy in that they produced food and cash, crops of their choosing, and had political control of the area. That autonomy ended when the Colombian government in the early 1970s introduced large-scale soybean farming in the region. The history of the city of Quibdó can be traced back to 1648, when the Franciscans, a Catholic religious order, were given land by the Embera Indians. Other Indians opposed the presence of the Catholics in the area and destroyed the city by 1650. Quibdó was rebuilt in 1654 by Jesuits, led by Pedro Caceres and Francisco de Horta. In February 1813, Quibdó declared itself independent of Spain. In 1825, it was renamed San Francisco de Quibdó. In 1948, the Colombian government created the Department of Chaco and named Quibdó as the region's capital. Subscribe to our channel, Black History,